Welcome back to another episode of Podcast Demastered, a place where we celebrate our love for all things nerdy. I'm Chelsea.
And I'm Wade.
On today's episode, we will be demastering the 2026 Oscar nominees.
Nice.
Yes. This is something my wife and I always look forward to every year. It's always our thing where we try to guess what's going to be nominated and then try to see everything. And the nominees were announced not too long ago at this point when this episode comes out. They were announced on January 22nd, and then the Oscars will be held on March 15th.
So we've got some time to kind of panic.
Yeah, got some time for people who want to watch some of these movies, check things out. Yes, you have time. But yeah, we're just going to kind of go through some of the nominees, talk about some surprises, some that we wished did get a nomination, some of our favorites, and if we have any crazy predictions with what could win. But yeah, kind of roughly starting off with like the Best Picture nominees. When they were announced, we realized we had seen 9 out of the 10 movies, which was crazy. That was the most we had seen before the nominees were announced. The only one...
How convenient, though. Like,
yes.
Whoops.
Exactly. Yeah. It was like, okay, that's cool. The only one we hadn't seen at the time, but we've seen it since then, is F1. I was actually a little surprised that was nominated, but I kind of understand why it was.
I mean, it looked like pretty, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it looked like a good movie, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Definitely not my style of movie, but there's a lot of cool people in it. Like the cinematography looked really good, like the shots and stuff like that, just from even just the trailer. I was like, oh, so it's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's definitely like one of the more blockbustery movies on this. I think that it was definitely one of the hits last summer, but it is kind of interesting how it was made because from my understanding, like they filmed a lot of these at like Formula One races to try to make it look like you were actually there in the action because a lot of that was actually from real races.
That's pretty cool.
But yeah, it's kind of interesting with that. I think it'll definitely be pretty close to winning a lot of the technical awards. It's up for like sound and has a good chance for editing as well. I don't think it's going to win Best Picture. I think there's some other movies that will definitely be way above it.
I know there's been a lot of hubbub lately about a couple of these, so it's difficult to say. But yeah, like I haven't seen hardly any of the the movies on the Best Picture list, but like I have seen Sinners. Mm-hmm. But I'd like to see Marty Supreme at some point. I'd like to see Begonia and Frankenstein.
Yes.
But we'll see. Yeah. There's no Wicked 2, so oh well.
I know. I'm a little surprised that Wicked wasn't nominated for some of the things like costuming and production design, to be honest, sure. Because it's still so much that we had, because for the part 1, we saw it nominated for so many Oscars, which I don't think it's really a hot take. I think for some people it could be, but like the first part was a way better movie in my opinion than the second part was.
Yeah, and that is quite the conversation, because I know there's a whole lot of people who felt a similar way about it, but to me it was kind of obvious because just the structure of like the musical itself, mm-hmm. Well, at the beginning is a little more exciting. You have all of these, like, you're introducing all of these people. Life isn't like terrible for the characters within the movie, but in the second half it's just like you start at like after like the peak of the musical and you are just rushing towards the end. I mean, that's it. That's what you get. So I definitely get it. But for some of the things like costuming and stuff, like, yeah, that's wild.
Yeah. Because, I mean, also for the first part, we saw also just, you know, Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande also getting nods. But, you know, like we said, Wicked was not nominated for anything this year. So it's interesting to see. There's also some things where I would always love the behind the scenes on like what the tallies of the votes actually were for the nominees, because there's some where you're like, how close was it for this other movie to get in? Or why wasn't this person nominated for this? Because it must have been so close. Mm-hmm. Because, well, I wasn't surprised, because also talking about Wicked itself, Wicked is a musical, but Wicked also added a bunch of new songs for this, which, I mean, they weren't my favorite, but like those were also some of the on the short list for being a contender for.
I know, like best original song that none of them were on there. I was like, really? Like just even one? I was a little surprised. Surprised.
I think I've listened to most of the songs at this point, because I've seen most of the movies that were nominated, except, well, okay, most. I think there's only 5 songs, and I've listened to 3 of them. because it was one, the song in Train Dreams, one from Sinners, and K-pop Demon Hunters. And then, yeah, I haven't seen the Diane Warren documentary yet, or the Viva Verity, which I had no idea what that was, and I'm not even sure I'm going to be able to watch that before the Oscars. Seemed even more limited release for the US, but maybe it'll come out, because since these have been, like, the announcement has been made for all these nominees, they started releasing more of them in theaters. So
yeah, they do like to push them because people get curious. They're like, oh, I've never even heard of that.
Yeah, and I really like it now where some theaters do kind of like, they lump together a lot of like the shorts, because, you know, those are even harder to find. Like, some people might have them like on their Vimeo account, or might be able to like watch them on YouTube or something like that. But a lot of times it's just like they were at a film festival, and so it's really nice to see them put together. I think they'll be, in the coming weeks, we'll see more of that at theaters. But I guess for Best Picture, I think my 3 favorite movies that are my top contenders kind of thing is One Battle After Another, Hamnet, and Sinners. Those are the ones I can see.
Okay. How's Hamnet?
Hamnet it's a drama. It's a slow burn movie. It's very artsy. It's Chloe Zhao, who is an amazing director. And the story is interesting because I didn't really know much going into it, because it's supposed to be about like Shakespeare and his family, and also like that Hamlet is based off of his son. But he's not the main character, like his wife is. And so we see her going through like raising these kids, like falling in love with her husband, and then like raising these children, dealing with the loss of her child and stuff like that. And
interesting.
Yeah, totally. Like, the Best Picture nominees are all over the place. So it's a really nice variety.
Yeah.
Because you have like the always weird and bizarre with Emma Stone in Begonia. That is a wild movie. Oh my gosh. Now, I was a little surprised because that movie didn't get as many nominations as I thought it would, because Jesse Plemons was not nominated, and he was amazing in that movie. I feel like he was almost unrecognizable in the character he was. This whole like conspiracy theorist guy about like aliens trying to like prove their existence, and that Emma Stone is an alien. It is a wild role. Oh my gosh. That movie, I think you would have fun with it.
I want to see it at some point. Really, the last few Emma Stone movies I need to go watch. There's a bunch I haven't seen, but I love Emma Stone.
Yeah.
I need to get on that.
No, it's a good time. So yeah, we have, like I said, we already talked about, like, yeah, there's F1, it's your big blockbuster, you know, it's a pretty straightforward story. It's a nicely made movie. We have Hamnet, the really drama, the really kind of sad movie. And then Begonia is funky. I could talk about all of them. Marty Supreme was not my favorite. I did not like that movie.
I want to watch the movie mostly because, like, the hubbub that's been talked about it. Like, I'm not like really into Timothée Chalamet or ping pong. But the things I've heard about the movie, I'm like vaguely interested enough to like give it a shot, and then probably like never talk about it ever again.
Yeah. It just was not my vibe. That movie went on way too long. I was like, I feel like I've been in the theater for 5 hours. And there were other movies that I think were longer that it did not feel like that. I was ready to be done with that movie.
That's a bummer.
Yeah. But, you know, I guess if we have a lot of slower, more dramatic movies, because like Sentimental Value is a very slower movie, really more about the characters, this whole family dynamic and the issues with the daughters and their father. And then you also, Frankenstein is not a heavy action movie or anything like that. It's not a horror movie. It's really a character piece.
Good. I mean, as it should be.
Yes.
As Frankenstein should be.
Yes.
I like to see that too, because I like the people. I like Del Toro. And I like all the people in it, but also like seeing like the images of Jacob Elordi freak me out.
They're
like,
wild.
Ew.
He is really good in that role.
That's what I heard.
It's wild. And then, well, talking about these, okay, The Secret Agent. This is an interesting movie. It takes place in Brazil in the 70s. And basically about like a professor, but he's on the run because like the government didn't like what he was talking about. And you're just kind of following this guy just like trying to escape the government and trying to go into hiding, and like it's a political thriller.
Interesting. I hadn't really heard of that one much.
Yeah. And then Train Dreams. Okay, that's another depressing movie. It's on streaming on Netflix. It's based off a book, and it's really about this guy's life and all the hardships he goes through in the early 1900s.
It's a rough time to be alive anyway.
Yeah. Exactly. And then One Battle After Another, I definitely recommend people should watch. It's a crazy, timely movie. And then, of course, Sinners. So Sinners, Wade, you did just recently watch this. Yes.
Yes, I did. And it was good. I liked it.
Yes. I know. Listeners, if you remember, I recommended that Wade should check out the movie when we did our year review episode. So I'm glad he finally got to watch it. And hopefully the music parts lived up to.
I liked the music. Like the backing track. Like the soundtrack, I really liked, but there was actual like music in it too. And which is one thing, but then like the more you get into the movie and you get like lore drops about what's happening, it almost made me love the music that much more. Yeah. I don't want to spoil anything, but it was just like, oh wow, there's reasons for like the music that is being played. It's like that's interesting.
Yeah. No, I think that's something about the movie that I think if people know anything about it at face value, they're just like, okay, cool. It's a movie about, we're not spoiling that. But if you know, you know. But it's like, no, there's so many layers to it, and there's reasons why it's told this way. And then the music just adds another level to the story itself. Mm-hmm. It's a layered movie.
It is a layered movie.
Yes.
And the ending was not expecting. That little like epilogue.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, what the hell? It was something. It was something.
Yes. But yeah, we have another 10 nominees for Best Picture this year, and it's a really eclectic group. I mean, I think this one's sometimes hard for me to decide because I don't think there's really one clear winner in my mind. I know there's a lot of people who are gunning for Sinners. Sinners is the most nominated movie ever with the amount of Oscar nominees they have.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But we saw, if you want to compare to anything with, the Golden Globes for those Best Picture, those awards went to Hamnet and One Battle After Another. But, it's a completely different group voting on it, but a lot of people use that as a thing for showing during this awards time what it is. But who knows? It could be something crazy. It could be F1 for all we know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see about that.
Yeah. One of my other favorite categories that I always look forward to is animated feature film. Yes, I have talked about again and again. I love animated movies. I wasn't really sure what some of these were going to be like. I definitely knew of at least 2 to 3 of these movies that were definitely going to get nominated because there was no doubt about it. Like K-pop Demon Hunters. I love that movie. Of course, that was going to get a nomination. It has become a hit ever since it was released. It is a worldwide phenomenon.
That's just kind of the truth, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's quite big.
Yeah.
It's quite big.
It is quite big. And that's something, too, where when I think about movies that have music in it, that have songs that, capture the world, you see a lot of that with Disney movies because that's just kind of how it is. We've seen it with Let It Go, with Encanto, with We Don't Talk About Bruno, and then it's something where K-pop Demon Hunters, all the songs, but mainly Golden has been the top song, which I love Golden, but it's also not my favorite song from the movie.
Mm-hmm. You like Soda Pop, don't you?
No. That's fine, but no, that's not my number one. It's What It Sounds Like, the last song. I think is probably my favorite. Yeah.
Well, it's that song is such a culmination of the whole movie,
Yes.
And it wraps up the character portrayals. It wraps up, the little storylines. It wraps up the main story. Musically, even, it calls back to, all the other songs. That's a perfect, finale piece right there.
Mm-hmm. But, I still love all the other songs, Free. Also, Soulja Boys, though. I like their songs.
Yeah, my little ones really like Soda Pop. They'll sing it all the time in class, and I'm like, oh my god, stop! I'm talking up here.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. But yeah, Golden has just It's just, it has a hold on everybody. Even just like little words, like my niece sings part of that song. She has never seen that movie. She just knows the
But she
music
knows
from
the
it.
song.
Yep.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But I mean, I hope this movie wins anime feature film, but I mean, some of these other movies are also really good. I just saw Arco recently. I would say, so Arco is a French animated film, and you watch this movie and you're like, wow, they were heavily inspired by Studio Ghibli movies. The way the opening is, the way the close attention to detail with the art, the whimsical characters, even more specifically, was probably like really inspired by Miyazaki in general. It's also a little bit of a mix of E.T. almost.
Interesting.
Yeah, because it's about this boy from the future, and they wear these special suits that can help them time travel, but he's not at the appropriate age to time travel yet. But he's like, well, I can do what I want. I want to go see some dinosaurs. So then he like steals his sister's like time travel suit and then uses it to go back in time. But, you know, he's never done this before or whatever. So he ends up at a very different point in time, which is a point in like not too distant of our future is what he ends up in. And he meets this girl and they just kind of like go on a journey because the girl's kind of like alone. Her parents aren't ever home. She's taken care of by a robot and her younger brother and stuff. So you get this whole where these two kids just have this friendship and, you know, try to get going like shenanigans for him to go back home.
That does sound sweet.
Yes.
I'll have to give that a shot.
Yes. Definitely recommend that. It's kind of funny. I guess we have two like otherworldly things because like Elio was also nominated. I was a little bit surprised by that.
It was such a quiet like movie when it came out, you know?
Yeah.
Although like Zootopia, I felt like I haven't seen that much out of Zootopia as far as like advertisements and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But again, Zootopia is a film that'll like sell itself too. So
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Zootopia 2 is the long-awaited sequel. People have been asking about it forever, and we got it. I do think, you know, Disney will always stand up there at the top of having amazing animation. It is a very nicely done film. It has fun characters like always. We get to continue our story with Judy and Nick. And the only thing I have a little bit of a problem with this movie is it's a little bit too much like the first one.
Oh.
A little too much.
A little too
like,
much. A little too copy-pasty.
Yes. But I kind of get it because Zootopia 2, like, takes place essentially almost immediately after the first movie.
Oh.
Is my understanding from the way I was watching it. So I get that some of the characters, like, haven't really had
like
such
changed.
a significant... Yeah, they haven't really changed significantly enough. So we get to, like, you know, it's kind of a little bit of a repeat there. But there's a couple elements that I'm like, okay, we didn't have to do the exact same thing Zootopia 1 did. But I'm not going to get into those spoilers. But I was just like, okay, you had me until we did. I would have rewritten a couple things, in my opinion. But it's a fun movie overall. And, you know, you got another Shakira song out of it. So
that is true. Got to have your gazelle in there.
Yes. Oh, it was also funny too. So at Disney and Animal Kingdom, they changed out their little like 4D movie. It used to be It's Tough to Be a Bug based off Bug's Life. And now they have a Zootopia one in there. You kind of have to see both movies to understand what's going on. It's almost like a pseudo sequel a little bit. Yeah.
Huh.
Because Zootopia 2 does have a post-credit scene. At least two. It has like a mid-credits and a post-credit scene.
Okay. Zootopia will return in Avengers Doomsday?
Exactly. Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yep. Everybody's dropping those post-credits. They will return in Avengers.
I mean, that's been some pretty good meme material lately.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I've enjoyed it.
For real. Yeah. But I guess the only thing to say about Elio is I kind of thought the movie was done halfway through, and then I realized we had another like 45 minutes left, and I went, oh no, I thought the movie ended.
Yikes.
Although that weird cute alien that's like a slug thing, it's the most adorable thing ever. I feel for that little alien.
Aw.
It's so cute. But yeah, the only one I haven't seen yet is Little Amelie. That one is on my watch list. Maybe I'll watch it tonight or tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
There was another movie, actually I was surprised because it wasn't nominated for international feature. I think there was a really close race on those because all those movies are really strong, but it was No Other Choice. It's a South Korean film by director Park Chan-wook, who did like Old Boy and stuff, and it's a very dark comedy. about a guy who lost his job and that was the only job he ever knew. And so he wants to try to get in with another company. And he's like, oh, the best way I can do this is by literally taking out my competition. So he like plots to murder all these people who have also like want his job as well.
Oh my gosh, okay.
It's wild.
That's a premise.
Yes, it is. But it was cool because I saw like almost every single movie that was nominated for the international feature, I think, before the nominees were announced. It was cool to see because at least they were available to watch for a limited time or whatnot at some of my theaters nearby, which is fun to see. I'm glad that a lot of these movies are getting more of a little bit more widely released in the US, especially even before like the nominees come out.
Before, because afterwards,
Yes.
like they'll push so much stuff.
Yeah, but it's fun to see. Yeah, I still have plenty more to watch. A lot of them are like the documentary features and shorts, the short live action animated shorts, and a couple ones that I think for some of the actors are nominated for.
I'm hoping I get the chance to see some more of these before the Oscars hit. Even just like those few that I'm like actually interested in. I'd like to see some more.
Yes. And I think a lot of the movies right now are fairly easy to watch. We've seen a lot of them already on different streaming services, so that's really nice to see. I feel like, yeah, the next couple weeks we'll almost be able to watch them all at home.
What a time to be alive.
Exactly.
You just have to like
yes.
travel all over the damn place to watch stuff like that.
I know. It's really nice that they're so widely available now.
Yeah.
And yeah, listeners, let us know which nominees you've seen and which ones you think will win which category. We'd love to hear from you. We'll also probably be sharing again. We've done it the last couple of years where we kind of do the Oscars like competition where you try to correctly guess all the nominees. Mm-hmm. So we'll share a link for our group we'll make for the podcast so you guys can join along. But yeah, I think that'll do it for this episode.
Mm-hmm. And that's it for another episode of Podcast Demastered.
If you enjoyed hanging out with us today, don't forget to follow and subscribe, leave us a review, and tell a friend.
If you have an episode idea, send us an email at demasteredpodcast@gmail.com. You can follow us on YouTube, Instagram, Blue Sky, and Facebook at Pod Demastered.
Thanks for listening, and tune in for the next time we demaster our favorite things on Podcast Demastered.